Morning everybody, I hope you're doing fantastically well. It's the Leeds Daily here, back with another Leeds United video. So as you can tell, we're going to be talking about the board, and it's going to be my final word about the board, and I guess in a sense saying farewell to Radrizzani, and pretty much going to go into detail of the new news that's actually come out about Radrizzani and the 49ers. So as we all know, Leeds United will be probably taken over by the 49ers fully, due to the fact that they've got a 44% stake in the club. As Radrizzani is trying to move on now, he is now the foundation of a children's football association now. So I want to say congratulations to him on moving up in his career and challenging himself into do something different. So as you can tell, it's going to be a big boost to Leeds United's future ahead, due to the fact that Leeds United will become the 6th richest club in the Premier League, probably worth roughly around about $10+ billion, and maybe even more than that. And I was actually watching a little interview actually on YouTube where The Athletic were interviewing Radrizzani, and they was interviewing Victor Orta as well, and it was kind of interesting to listen through all of that interview and understand a little bit more on where Radrizzani wants to see the club and where Victor Orta wants to go with the club also. And I kind of agree, and I kind of like see where he's coming from in a sense, because if you think about it, Radrizzani and Victor Orta have been getting a lot of stick recently due to the fact that we're not spending enough money. But in a realistic world, you've got to work smart. And Leeds United owners in the past haven't really worked smart. They would rather spend big and trying to get that success quickly, just like what Tottenham Hotspur did. They built that huge stadium and then there was millions of pounds worth of debt. Radrizzani and Victor Orta came out and pretty much said that it's a slow process. He's been in charge now for about 5 years, coming up to 6 years. I kind of see that. I kind of see the business model where you've got to build a foundation, you've got to build slowly. Fair enough, it's going to take time, because every football fan wants to be able to see their club do well and succeed as quickly as we can. And I feel like a lot of Leeds United fans and a lot of Leeds United supporters don't really see that or really understand that, or have actually understood what the past of the club means. People like Radrizzani and other people, countless other people as well. And the way he's doing it is very smart. He's building very slowly. He's building that foundation where he's going to be focusing on the youth system. So, for example, like we bought in Rafinha for around about £70 million and selling him on for about 60 million. So there's that way of being able to build up the foundation, being able to build up the club. And it's very clear that Radrizzani has a limited amount of budget. And I feel like obviously now he's come to that conclusion that he can't really take Leeds United much further than he already has. And I want to just say, like, I am appreciative of him, because I'd rather have someone who's going to actually build a proper business structure or a business model than have someone like Cellino in charge, where we'd sign maybe about 15 Italian unproven players and come in and still be fighting in like the Championship, or you never know, we could have even been in League One, and having loads of like court cases against us and legal cases against us and blah blah blah. Whereas like Radrizzani, he managed to buy back the stadium. He's on about building up the stadium with the 49ers. He's done such a great success to the club, bringing that foundation back, bringing that style of play that we've never seen before with Bielsa. Getting us back into the Premier League and just bringing that joy back again. Like, I understand the frustration of some fans, because football is obviously, it's an opinionated sport, so there's going to be a lot of fans who don't agree with the way the club is run, or even agree with me, or even agree with other pundits as well. Like, I'm just going to state, like, I am a little bit annoyed when it comes to the transfers this season. Like, I know I've said in my previous videos that I'm actually happy. Yes, I'm happy that we've spent money, but I feel like 6 players wasn't enough. We can't really use them to sustain a high level finish in the Premier League. And I can't expect Leeds to finish anywhere higher than like 13th, 14th in the Premier League, especially if we're not going to be bringing any players as well in the January transfer window. And like, if Leeds United are going to be spending money in transfer window, like I've seen reports that Leeds United are interested in Noah Lang, they wanted to go in for Cody Gakpo again, and it's just like, well, with the World Cup as well, and depending on how well everyone's playing, their price tag is going to be so massive. And Cody Gakpo's obviously, he's already rejected us coming in August, so he's not going to be coming. And it seems to be like Leeds United constantly going for the same type of targets, a specific type of target. It's like, I like the arrogance about that. Like, I understand 9 times out of 10 when we go for these specific targets, we don't get them. I think we was kind of lucky to be able to get Rafinha for the price that we did for £17 million. Like, that was a steal. But when it comes to like Charles de Ketelaere, Cody Gakpo, Noah Lang, Bemba Dieng, like these are the types of players who are high caliber players. And if there is big clubs like, for example, Charles de Ketelaere, like he's not doing very well at AC Milan, but if players like Charles de Ketelaere are linked with Spanish or Italian or German giants, then Leeds United are going to not have a chance. And to me, I feel like Leeds United need to have more of a broader option. Instead of going for a specific player, I feel like they need to bring in more of a Premier League experienced player. And that's why I said Timiquez at left back would be a good fit. There's a few Championship players or even Premier League players who could be available who are not getting regular start time and could fit very nicely in this Leeds United team. And as well, Leeds United have 2 specific targets, and obviously that is a striker and that is a left back. But now as well, I can't see Leeds United bringing in another striker, because they'll be looking at this now, because this is what they did last season when we played West Ham, and I can't remember the other team, but we managed to pick up around about like 6 or 7 points in January, and the board looked at that and they used that as like as the saying goes, like paper over the cracks type of situation, where it's like, okay, well, we've picked up some results now, we don't need to buy any new players. And I feel like they're going to do exactly the same with like Rodrigo, because obviously since he scored 9 goals in the Premier League in 14 appearances, I feel like they'll look at that and be like, okay, well, we don't need a striker now. We've got Patrick Bamford will become fit again, so he'll be on the bench, so he's an option. There's Gelhardt as well, so I feel like they won't go in for a big striker. And obviously, I don't know who they think we are, in a sense, because we can't really challenge like the teams like Newcastle now and Chelsea and Man Cities and Liverpool's, you know, and we can't seem to bring in these high caliber players, because when we was chasing Charles de Ketelaere, in a sense we was pretty much hoping that AC Milan would drop out. Like Leeds United paid or wanted to pay £4 or £5 million over his evaluation for the player, give him a better contract than that, but he still rejected it. And Leeds United, we shouldn't be doing that. We should be getting deals pretty much almost sorted. Like, we've got a month now. We're coming up against Manchester City, I think, on the 28th of December, and then we play against Newcastle on New Year's Eve. So these are the types of games where we can look at that and think, we're going to be in a relegation. We're going to be in the relegation because we're not, in my opinion, we may have a chance against Newcastle because they're the likes of the standard of like Tottenham, so we may be able to get something out of the Newcastle game, but I feel like we're going to struggle against Manchester City. So we've been only 2 points above the relegation zone. It's going to be very difficult to see how we're going to survive this. So in the January transfer window, Leeds need to get this done. They need to be talking to people now. They need to be talking to agents now and getting deals over the line, because if we do the same thing that we did in the August window, where we constantly wait and we're putting in bids or bids that aren't good enough, we're not going to see anyone come in. And I feel like as well, loan options would be good, seeing if there's anyone available on loan. That'd be a decent shout. But Leeds United need to get this over the line, because otherwise it's going to be worrying. We're going to be panicking. I'm not sitting here and criticising Radrizzani or what the board's done, because I'm not. I appreciate everything that they've done to the club, and obviously I'm just very grateful in the position where we can say like, okay, well, if we manage to stay in the Premier League next season, then we could boost on from there and bring in that extra player. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you smash a like as well, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.